Hi, I'm Mickelle Weber, founder of House of Peregrine. This show is for life abroad and those crafting their life story with intention. I bring you conversations about international finances, meaning making, relationships, and parenting. I bring on the experts that help you on your journey so that you can connect more deeply with yourself, the people around you, and the place you currently call home. Find out more at houseofperegrine.com, where you can find exclusive guides, products, software, and a community that's waiting to welcome you. Welcome to House of Peregrine. I'm always trying to recommend this type of work as part of people's arsenal.
Yeah.
Because when you land somewhere new, what's happening in your body so obviously new patterns, any patterns you had are going to repeat where you go. Wherever you go, there you are, right? So there's that. But then what additional does it bring, this ungroundedness you talked about? What can people come to you to not prevent, but what's the concept that people can come to with you? It's like, I landed into a country. I need to do this. I think somatic processing of some sort is one of those things.
Yeah.
And so how would you say that? What part of the process should that be?
Well, I think actually you raised a couple of points. Yeah. So change actually creates change too. Yeah. So we do bring ourselves, we will find those things, but I think there is also a fertile ground. So what I would be looking at is that, how do we create the structure that you want? Yeah. So structure would be the things that would kind of give us some rhythm in our days. Yeah. And in those first sort of 3 to 6 months, everything is new, like where to buy the milk or where it is even located in the supermarket. And so like the structure has to be kind of rewritten. And that's a great opportunity to find a new way of those beats that we want. Our bedtime routines is a structure that has the opportunity to change when we move. So, but if I think about somebody who's just landing here and is wanting to use the work, what I would be doing is looking to them to get them to embody their bones. Our bones are the structure that's inside of us. Our bones are the earth that is grounding us to ourselves. They are quiet and strong and solid. And if we just, even now, as I start to kind of feel my bones, I start to feel a different kind of vibration in my legs. It's just like there's a grounding quality. But yeah, so I would be giving strategy around these patterns and behaviors that we could put in place. And I would be also attuning them to their legs and the bones that are actually inside of them. But often our muscles are trying to do what our bones do. They're trying to hold structure. There's that effort piece again. So if we can get them to soften and to actually trust this beautiful collarbone and to feel all of the parts of ourselves in an embodied way, we'll find more of that flow and freedom and newness. I think that's too actually is what we're often really terrified of, but actually what the expat is seeking is the newness. It's like, I want it. Can I have it? I want it, but how do I understand that I'm going to be okay if I've never really ever experienced it? And that is that trust of self. Yeah. To be able to take the steps, to be able to stand in what it is and to be able to walk away or to have that trust. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when we're talking about transitions like this, there's lots of transitions. So having a baby, I think, is a really great time after having a baby or before having a baby, moving country, when a relationship dissolves. I know you have personal experience with this, but also many of your clients. When a relationship dissolves, a partnership, a marriage, what does that do to your body, to your systems, and what does that process look like?
I think it creates again an opportunity to connect with something a little bit deeper. So I was in a marriage for 25 years, and my kids that I talked about earlier on, they are now 23 and 21. My 23-year-old lives in Stockholm. My 21-year-old's in Sydney. She's currently here with me right now. And the father of my kids is still living in Amsterdam. We still live in the same city, but going through that transition for us, it was not just COVID and divorce and kids moving from high school into university and leaving the house. We had so much kind of change going on, and I really really think if I hadn't done the work, I probably would have found myself back home. I probably would have packed my bags and gone somewhere that I knew that I could just be safe. Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, I think knowing that I could take the steps through it, that this change was part of my process and the journey to actually being the better mum, the better partner, the better me, the better coach. It, yeah, it allowed me to, yeah, keep walking towards what was unfolding.
Yeah. So the safety and love you felt in your own body allowed you to be able to do the right thing for yourself, for your own, would you call it progression? Would you call it your own path? How would you call
Um,
that?
I, 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 I call it my unique me. Like I think it's also an inner being. I use many words. That inner being is
Yeah.
also love, but it's also potential. I shy away from the word potential, but it's like there we all have a different kind of capacity. Usain Bolt can run really fast. That's because he's got a capacity for it. Other people are really creative because they have a certain capacity for it. So I think when you asked this question now, what I felt into was actually it is that adult part of me being able to choose to be able to express Amanda, to be able to live from this place. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if someone comes to you saying, I don't know what, like I'm in a relationship, I don't know, especially long-term relationships, especially when you're in a different country together, it's a big, it's a foundation shake to, to change relationship. And so is that how you help people process it? It like, should I stay or should I go is a massive question for
Mm.
therapists, for
Mm.
any kind of things. Do you help people find that safety if they're having that question within themselves? Is that the first step?
Yeah. I think what actually gets entangled, like when you give this as an example, sometimes it's fear telling us no or yes,
Yeah.
but actually that's not
Yeah.
our truth. So when
Mm-hmm.
we come to the body, we can actually really connect. Oh, actually, I really love this person, but I'm really frightened of taking the next step with them. So,
Mm-hmm.
but actually so this is where, where sometimes yeah, we can misinterpret the, in that contracted place, that this resistance is telling us something that is our truth. No, 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 no. This resistance is actually trying to protect us from the change that will come if we just said yes to this. So that's,
Yeah.
that's what happens, is that there's a certain clarity that comes. There is a certain, yeah, knowing. Yeah.
When you're using all of your resources, it turns out you get better answers.
Yeah. Yeah. And that answer is not always comfortable, because if I'm choosing not to be with my partner that I've been with for a very long time, I'm also disrupting the people that I love. So
Mm-hmm.
if we keep ourselves small and stay small and stay small, this is a very unwell place to live from. This is a
Mm-hmm.
very a disconnected place to live from.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the biggest transitions we can go through are some of those. And when people do them abroad, that's why I put it, if I have a conversation with someone, a lot of times do these consultations where I sit down with someone and I say, put together your team of
Mm,
how to land well, how to live well.
mm,
And this is often on my list because it just solves so many, it doesn't solve so many problems. It gives you so many more resources to thrive because it is a very intense experience moving countries. And you've now done it twice across multiple continents and for your kids and you become, if you're well resourced, it becomes a lot less struggle.
yeah.
And so yeah, I think it's just a really important step. How, tell me, you've mentioned it a couple times, but I want to give people something really clear. If people want to start just on their own at home
Yeah.
with maybe peeking into what their body is trying to tell them, maybe they're not burned out, maybe they're just like, oh, I'm interested to learn what my body's telling me, because
Mm-hmm.
obviously it's a vast resource.
Mm.
Where would you tell them to start? What's a few tips they could just use in their everyday life?
I think movement, I think breath, I think awareness and curiosity, they would be sort of the first things that sort of pop up. But it is just like what right now while I'm sitting with you, I can still feel a lot in my body. So I have a
Mhm.
tingling sensation in my feet. I feel the heaviness of myself in my chair. And still I can have a conversation with you. I could imagine myself if it was 5 years ago and I was doing a podcast, I'd probably be sitting up and I'd probably be overthinking it. And so I think what I would just encourage people to do is to um, look at ways they like to move. So it doesn't mean going to the gym. It can be the walk in the park or the ride on the bike, or it can be the yoga. There's just many ways. And when you are in those places, you're really experiencing what it feels like. Yeah. So right now I'm really feeling what it feels like to sit here and talk with you. When I'm riding my bike, I feel the air touching my skin. I'm smiling at the people around me and I'm looking and I am feeling my feet moving and my heart rushing. And so feeling what is, that would be the first thing. Breath is an easy tool for a lot of people. And I love breath. And I also have a resistance to a lot of the breath stuff that's going on right now where it's really active breath.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people's systems are not ready for that active breath. It sort of pushes them even higher out. But just attuning to the breath. And many times when we meet our breath, we feel the discomfort of where we are contracting or where we're not allowing. So there we would just play a little bit with choice. And I would just say tactileness also, get your hands on your kids or your friends. And if you don't, go and have a massage and really be active in the massage. Like, don't just let it happen to you. Really experience the touch. Let yourself breathe with the touch. Let yourself make the yummy sounds of the touch. Yeah, there's some sort of easy access points, but there's also a really big growing community of somatic practitioners now. I had a beautiful evening here a couple of weeks ago with a room full of psychologists, and I introduced them to some practitioners that I would recommend that are in and around Amsterdam. When I first landed here, 10 years ago, I think it was me and maybe one or two others from different modalities, but now there's like 40 or so practitioners here. So
Wow.
there are many options out there. I would be very happy to, you know, to connect people if they can't get into me, but to connect people to other practitioners in the city.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I just want to play that back. So if whatever you're doing throughout the day, choose something and just take a moment to really be in it and notice everything about it.
Yeah.
And I would add I don't know if this is next level. What if you feel a pain? That can be scary if you feel a pain when you've tuned in.
Yeah. Yeah. Good
What
question.
do you recommend people do?
Yeah. And we are going to meet pain. Yeah. Like even
Mhm.
now I'm sitting with my legs crossed and as you say, oh, I'm feeling pain. Then I actually think, oh, I might uncross my legs. So I was not really feeling the discomfort that maybe I was causing myself. So, but sometimes pain is chronic. Pain it really is stuck in the body. So it just needs some attention first. Often when we go towards pain, it will increase. It may also dissolve. It might also express, like my leg just said, please uncross me. Like there, I could attune to its need. But but actually going towards it, and this is where that love piece fits in. When we go towards it, if we're going towards it on our own, we might be like, oh, I don't have time for that pain right now. I've got to, I've got to pick up the kids, or I've got to, I want to just for you to be quiet, or I'm frustrated by you. If we're coming
Yep.
with that kind of mind body connection, the pain's just going to either get tighter and contract and try and hide itself in some way. But if we can come to it lovingly and kind and be like, oh, yeah, okay, I see that it actually needs a bit of attention. And pretty much we can feel what it actually needs.
Yeah.
Okay, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed our show. For the latest insights on living internationally, join us at houseofperegrine.com to find out how you can connect with our community. Let's craft our life story with intention together.